were to live your life like a movie and you were the director, how would it turn out? Hello again, everybody. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, lead, and inspire. And today our focus is going to be on being the director of the movie that you call your life. So join Eli and me today in the film room where we take a look and see how that movie is going to turn out. All right, first question is, as the main character, are you going to be a hero? Are you going to do something that is extraordinary? Are you somebody that is going to face a crisis like we all do and come out on top? Well, if you're going to do something like that, one of the things is, of course there's always the spontaneous hero, but most of the time to be a hero you have to be in training. Now, Tom Cruise as Maverick in Top Gun, as an example, is the hero of the movie, of course, but think of all the training that he went through that put him in the position to be the hero. You have to be locked in. The same thing as somebody that, one of your favorites, Eli, one of my favorites, Steph Curry, hits the winning shot, or Michael Jordan hits the winning shot, or LeBron James hits the winning shot. It may be spontaneous, and maybe the ball kind of meanders over to them, and boom, they take the shot and it goes in. But remember all the preparation that was necessary so that when they were put in that position, they were able to perform as the hero. So if you want to be the hero in this movie that you are directing, make sure that you are prepared so that when that spontaneous opportunity arises, you're able to take the reins and perform. Now, some people have a movie that's adults only. And when I talk about adults only movie, I mean they're doing things that they're not exactly right, and they're not morally right. As a director of your movie, what do you want your legacy to be in this movie? Do you want people to remember you as the guy that always did the wrong thing, that did the only things that, adults only movie, that you have to be at least 18 before you can even go in and see it? I don't think so. So one of the things to keep in mind as the director of your movie is that you want to live your life as a virtuous person. You want to do the right thing. We all get tempted to do the wrong thing from time to time, sometimes too often. And this is especially true when I mention this, Eli, to you right now, because when you're in your formative years, when you're a teenager, when you're a younger adult, 19, 20, 21, 22, those types of things. But it even happens later. People succumb to the temptation of the moment. And one of the things you need to remember is that when you do fall victim to that temptation, that most of the time, virtually all of the time, it is a shortcut to success, and it's not something that's everlasting. Now, some people live their lives in their movie as cartoon characters. And as a cartoon character, are you doing things in a mature way or an immature way? Are you being realistic, or are you a dreamer? Now, it's good to be a dreamer. Make no mistake about that. One of the things about being successful is that you have to have those dreams that put you out there, in a space that is not familiar to the general public. So one of the things that you want to do is you want to conceive of, you want to have your dreams as a child, but you want to have your actions with maturity. And one of the things about maturity is to take small steps so that it's, it's kind of like, here's the way I like to think about it. If you're walking across ice, you don't take big, huge steps, because if you do and you slip, whoa! But if you're taking small baby steps, then each step that you take minimizes the risk. So you're still going across the pond, you're still going across the ice surface, but you're going across determined and at a pace where you can make a correction if you need to make that correction. So once again, have your vision like a child, have your actions like a mature adult. Do you want to have a horror movie? I don't think you do. So when you're planning your daily activities, or better still, if you don't plan your daily activities, that is a major ingredient for a horror movie. And here's the why and because. You're living your life as a reactionary instead of as a protagonist. When you live your life as a reactionary, then all of the outside circumstances control what happens to you. Instead of having a definite purpose, a definite game plan, a definite goal, even on a daily basis, small things that you want to get accomplished that particular day. And otherwise, if all you're doing is you're following somebody on this social media or that social media, and you're responding and reacting to that constantly, that's the ingredients for a horror movie, because you're not planning your day, you're not planning your life. You've relinquished the reins of being the director of your movie. On the other hand, let's talk about a comedy. Now, one of the things that I've always found to be a great thing, and that you can affect other people, and people are glad to see you, is a smile. And when I talk about a comedy, that just means little things. Have little fun things that you do that make other people smile. And, you know, sometimes when I used to work at the library and somebody would come in with a baby, and you know, they're holding the baby by the hand, a toddler, all right, I would say, now make sure you keep an eye on them. And the mom would look at me and go, yeah. I said, no, I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to the kid, all right? And the mom would laugh, all right? They wouldn't say. So have some little things that you say, some little things that you do that will bring a smile to somebody else's face. Something that you do that's nice, like as a little thing as like holding the elevator for somebody when they're coming. You know, do that. Do little things like that. And don't forget to smile with your eyes, because when you do that, it lifts other people up. They'll smile back for the most part. And always remember to say good morning. Now, one other thing we want to talk about is your trailer. What is your movie going to look like? And we've talked about this ad infinitum, ad nauseum, not ad infinitum, but ad nauseum, the importance of giving yourself some quiet thinking time to plan out your movie, to visualize your movie. Isn't that what the trailer does? When they show you the trailer of a movie, they're showing you the most exciting parts of the movie, the most compelling parts of the movie, the parts of the movie that are going to make you want to go and see the movie. Are you doing that for yourself every single day? Are you visualizing compelling parts? Are you visualizing aspects of what's to come that make you want to go and perform? Or are you just doing the same old every day? Think about the importance of the trailer. It's important as far as drawing people to come and see the movie, and it's important for you as an individual because you're the director of your own movie, aren't you? Another thing, and I know, Eli, there are some movies that I've wanted you to go, wanted to sit down with you, but you refused to sit down with me, and I can understand this because the movies are in black and white. And the reason why I didn't really understand that, because I always thought these movies were like, you know, a movie like Casablanca or The Maltese Falcon, or a movie Zorro that I thought you would really like that's in black and white. And I thought to myself, you know, why can't Eli see things through my lens, which is the virtue of the movie, that it's very well done. There are really good lines in it. It's in black and white. And then I thought back to silent movies. And I'm a big fan of Charlie Chaplin, his life. I've read a lot about Charlie Chaplin. I saw the movie Chaplin. I really liked it. But so I tried to watch some of his silent movies. And Eli, I couldn't even sit through them. I watched it for a little bit, and I know that they were, at the tip, they were the bar in the day when he was making movies. But right now, I couldn't even watch them. So my point is, not everything in life is black and white. There's a certain area where you have to look a little bit deeper and look for other aspects. Just as when I look at the dialogue of these particular black and white movies. I mean, some of these Humphrey Bogart movies have unbelievably great dialogue that today is replaced by people blowing things up, which to my mind, and once again, everybody has their own preferences, but there's action, and then there's like blowing things up all the time. And I always thought that some of these movies would end when the person doing the shooting with the machine gun finally shot the cameraman. But once again, that's my humble opinion. Everybody has their own. Things are not in black and white all the time. So keep that in mind when you're making your movie, the movie about your life. On the other hand, given today's advantages, today's realism, seeing things in color. Now, when I say seeing things in color, I mean, are you seeing the broad spectrum? Are you limited? Do you have limitations that prevent you from visually expanding your imagination? This quiet thinking time that you want to give yourself is the place where you allow your imagination to run wild. And when you do that, then you're able to start to put a conduit, a cord between what's absolutely real right now, what your philosophy is, what's real right now, to the great imagination. And you're able to take small steps. And when you take those small steps, it makes the dream become more and more and more real. So when you're making your movie, make sure that you visualize things with the most color, the most imagination possible that you can see. Along those same lines is, do you have your 3D glasses when you're making your movie? Because if you don't have the glasses on and the movie's in 3D, what you're seeing is a fuzzy visual. Isn't that true? But when you put on the glasses, it enables you to see things in their full context. So make sure that you look at things through the different paradigm of 3D glasses, so to speak, so that you can see things clearly. And don't forget that you, as the director, have the scissors. You have the capability of editing your movie. You have the capability of editing your movie. So you're not stuck with what's there. You can cut this and paste that, and you can do that in your life too. And one of the things that's great about it is you can eliminate a whole roll of film making your movie and insert a new roll. So you're not stuck where you are. You have the opportunity to move forward. Now, in addition to making your own movie, are you living your life like you're going to the movies? Now, these are some things that I thought of as you actually go to the movie. All right, now first of all, one of the things that we used to do was when I was like 12 or 13 or whatever, and we'd want to go see a movie, and you get to the box office, and if you were under 12, you paid a smaller price, because at age 12 you were considered, as far as the movie theater was concerned, an adult. Are you sneaking into the movies right now in your life? Are you doing things to cut short, or are you living up to the fact that you're at a certain age, a certain maturity level, and paying the full price? Do you go to the bathroom during the climax of the movie? There are so many people that steer themselves away from taking the big action. What kind of fun is life unless you put yourself right in the movie, right in the theater, so you get to see what's happening right then and right there. Don't put yourself away. You know, there are so many people that, oh, I got to go to the bathroom now. And the people that live their lives that way, stay for the movie. And there are people, of course, that are talking during the movie. I don't want to mention any names, Eli, people that constantly talk during the movie. Your mother, okay, that constantly talk during the movie, and then while they're talking, then they say, what does that mean? What does that mean? You've got to listen. You've got to keep your ears out there. You should be listening twice as much as you should be talking anyway. That's the way that you learn, not by moving your mouth all the time, but by listening and absorbing the information and putting the facts together and putting the puzzle pieces together. And then there are the people that go to the movie and they're sitting up in the balcony and they're making out. And see, these are all the things that, you know, I never did any of these things, Eli, as a child. I was a perfect child, all right? But I heard that other people would go up into the balcony and make out and not watch the movie. Don't forget the purpose of why you're in the movie theater to begin with. You're in there to see the film, to experience the film, and not to distract yourself, okay, although sometimes it was a pleasant distraction, to distract yourself from your purpose. So stay out of the balcony and stop making out, Eli. By the way, you're not old enough to do that anyway, and for my money, you'll never be old enough to do that. Okay? Do you also are you one of those people that when you're sitting in the chair, you put your legs on the seat of the person in front of you and they're always turning around and they're saying like, you're bothering me, leave me alone. Stay in your space. You don't want to be there to bother other people, and the same thing is true in life. You have a particular purpose, they have a particular purpose. You have to respect other people's space. And I'm talking about in the movie theater when you put your knees up on the other person's chair and then lean forward, or when you're on an airplane and you move your seat back, all right? I hate that. Respect other people's space. When the movie's over, Eli, in today's times, you often go to a movie complex where they have 6 or 7 different movies showing at the same time. So when the movie's over, do you go and sneak in to see another movie? I never did that, okay? But you ever go in to sneak in and see another movie? Respect the people with whom you do business. They're providing you with a service. They're trying to provide it to you in an honest way, we hope. And by the same token, you want to respect their space and respect their business, because if you want to do business with them again, if you get caught sneaking into the theater, they're going to write your name down, they're going to put your picture, and they're going to say, hey, this guy doesn't get to come into these movies anymore. And don't leave your candy wrappers or your popcorn all over the place for somebody else to clean up. Do you do that in life? Do you leave a mess for other people to clean up? Are you so uncaring that your activities, you're so thoughtless, you're causing other people to have to come in and pick up after you? You don't want to do that in the movie theater. You don't want to do that in life. One of the things that's a good thing to do when you go to the movies is to sit in the middle of the row. And you know why I always used to sit in the middle of the row? Because when you sit in the middle of the row, people aren't walking back and forth in front of you to go to the candy counter or to go to the bathroom. You're in the middle. They're going to go out that way, they're going to go out that way, and you are able to maintain your focus on the action on the screen. In life, you want to do the same thing. Don't let other people cut in front of you and distract you from your individual focus. It's a very, very key point. And another thing is, do you get it? You know, you're there, you're at the movies. Are you understanding what's going on? And you want to, I remember when I was young in the 1970s, I went to the movies with a friend of mine, and we went to see the movie Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde were some bank robbers, and they were not necessarily, they were, for all intents and purposes, on the FBI most wanted list. They were sought after. And so somehow they planted a scheme where they would catch them in one place, and there they were in the car, and they're surrounded by the law, by law enforcement, the police, the FBI, the sheriff, whoever it was. And it's at the very end of the movie, and I'm sitting there with my friend, and the movie ends where they're shooting, and they must have shot like 10,000 rounds of bullets. I mean, machine guns, you know, everything. And you see the car, there's, you know, new holes coming in the car, the windshields are all smashed. I mean, there's just like 9 zillion bullets being shot at them. And then right after it stops and there's silence, and my friend turns to me and says, "Are they dead?" Do you get it? Are you there? Are you following what's going on? Keep your eye on the ball and follow what goes on, so you don't have to ask a question where the answer is super obvious. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't ask questions. What I'm saying is follow what's going on so that you can quote unquote get it. And then there's my absolute favorite thing to do with the movies. And this was when I was with somebody on a first date. Movies kind of a, you know, the girls used to think like, well, that's a safe place, I can go to the movies, all right? And one of the things when you were making your move is you would yawn and you go, put your arm around the girl. Now sometimes that would work, and sometimes you'd get the look. So when you're planning out your moves, Eli, always remember that they can have 2 different outcomes, and be prepared for either outcome. Now, here's why it's important to live your life like you're making a movie. And this is a quote from Oscar Wilde. And I quote, "Life imitates art far more than art imitates life." So when you're making your movie, plan it out, have your quiet thinking time, make it compelling, act properly, and understand as much as you possibly can. And don't be afraid to make your move. And because we will never end this film on a philosophical note, let's get out there and charge! I'm Eli's dad.